Hello there everyone, Ashnflash here, and welcome on into my review of Loki Season 1, because we're getting Season 2. Woo! I mean, at this time, it's not really even a spoiler, I would say. Like, it's happening. It's gonna be all over the news. Anyways, really excited about this. We're going to talk about Lego and maybe the potential for the future of Lego and how we could get sets, but you guys really liked my review of Black Widow and you guys asked me to do more stuff like this, and specifically with the Disney Plus shows. So here I am. Let's talk about Loki. I love this show. It was the best show so far out of the three. It was absolutely fantastic. There were so many amazing moments. Honestly, some of my favorite MCU moments, I think, out of the entirety of its whole catalog so far. I can think of so many amazing moments in this, and I love the idea of this. You've heard me talk about in other videos how these what-if stories are just so fascinating to me, and I just love the idea of that. And you're kind of getting to get that glimpse here in live action, and I get like why they're doing the cartoon animated style for what if. It's a lot easier that way to bring everyone in, but with this, I think that we kind of just got tidbits of that and tidbits of what if is going to be, and even just looking ahead to the future of with like Doctor Strange and what that's going to entail. I'm really excited about that. But specifically with this, I think that there was so much going on. I don't really know how I'm going to break this up. I guess we should go in order of episodes. The first episode was pretty interesting. It was neat to just see the continuation of that Loki story from Avengers Endgame, and to see his raw emotion to reacting to his death and things like that, and even just seeing his life play out of what his life was going to be. It really caught that Loki up to the Loki that we've come to know and love, and I would say that this Loki went through so much more than that Loki ever did, and growth wise as well. And I think that that first episode was a really good starting point, and I think that moving on into the second one, that was really great. I think that the second one was a very solid episode, going out on the field and just getting to meet Sylvie there at the end, and that was the variant that we were hunting down. Even the start with Holding Out for a Hero, I think that was really great as well. That was just great to hear that song another third time at that time, you know, during that week with He-Man and also Guardians of the Galaxy. But anyways, that episode was a lot of fun. The next one was probably the worst one, my least favorite, just because it was really slow, and I think that that's kind of strange. And again, I'm literally recording this just after finishing watching the final episode. That was a lot of talking, and we'll get to it, but I think that at least with that one, I think it was just the slowest. I think that it also raised a lot of questions for me personally, and I've seen a lot of people talk about that as well. It's just like, what are Loki's powers? He was just beyond powerful. He rebuilt that tower that fell on them, and he just shrugged it off like it was nothing. We never see really, well, I guess we kind of saw him. There's a difference between like grabbing something and pulling it towards you, or pulling someone, to catching a tower and then just almost like reversing time like Doctor Strange or something like that. It was really crazy. But I think that that episode was all right. It kind of set up, of course, the relationship for Sylvie and Loki, which was needed. And then the next episode was really good as well. I think that it was interesting to see them bring back Lady Sif and just kind of get the revelations that we did about the TVA, and find out, you know, that it is like the Wizard of Oz, and that these guys are being run by someone else. So that was really fascinating. And then the fifth episode is still probably my favorite. I loved seeing those variants of Loki. I think that it was beyond amazing. The portrayal by Richard E. Grant as the classic Loki. Beyond just seeing a classic Loki, it was his performance, and the story was just incredible to hear how he was lonely, and to see, you know, what would have happened if Loki didn't go to stab him. And, you know, I just think that's really powerful to hear his remorse and hear how lonely he got and how he missed his brother. I thought that was really touching. And then, of course, his amazing distraction with Asgard and just that whole scene. Oh my goodness, just phenomenal. Really great. And then leading up into this episode, and I'm going to be honest with you, there was a moment here and I had flashbacks to 2013, and in the pit of my stomach, it just sank. And the moment that those doors opened, I had that same feeling from Iron Man 3 when he flushed the toilet and walked out of the room. I was back in 2013 feeling that almost disgust and sadness of, really, that's what you're doing to this amazing villain? But as it went on, it fixed itself, and I thought that was really powerful and really interesting, and I hope that people don't write him off necessarily, like as this weird wacky character. That's just this version, which I thought was really powerful, that this was the one that came out on top during that multiversal war, and that there's worse versions. And you kind of see these little moments in his performance and some of the lines that he said, and not just when he said conqueror, which was amazing, but when some of the threats and things that he was saying, it felt like there was so much menace and that you should fear him. Like, there was a lot behind the words that he was saying, a lot of power. So that really excited me, and as he, we went on, and it was a lot of talky, but it was really good to kind of get this backstory of who he is, and I think that it's really exciting me about the future, specifically for season 2. The whole time, actually, while we're going through, I checked, and I'm like, 8 minutes left. I'm like, you can't wrap all these loose threads up. They've got to announce season 2. And then I was thinking while I'm watching the episode, I'm like, are they just going to tweet it right away? And then, I saw the after credit scene. Oh my goodness, the music leading up to that. I thought we were going to get a real Kang reveal there at the end. I was getting really excited to actually see him besides that statue. But yeah, it was really neat, and the little graphics of him on the table and everything to see, what happened and see him conquering the other Kangs and the other timelines. I really loved that. That was really neat, and I'm so excited about the future of the MCU. Like, there's so much to dive in. Oh, and also, just to go back an episode, if it wasn't Kang, I would have been really disappointed. Like, if it was Loki or something like that, like some people were saying that it was going to be like another version of Loki, I really personally would have hated that because of how they set him up in the last episode with the tower. First thing I did, Googled Kang Towers, Qeng, which was on the side of the Avengers Tower, and even like just looking up, even like his wife from the comics is Renslayer, and even looking up some of the other things that was referenced in that episode, I'm like, this is so much more than people thinking Mephisto's gonna be the villain of WandaVision. There are like actual references here pointing directly towards it being Kang, and if it's not Kang, then it would have been a letdown, which it was, but it wasn't. So that's my kind of thinking. I was really hoping that the real version was going to come through the cracks or something there at the end. Is there alternate TVAs or something? Like, what's going on there? Or has Kang, the minute that Kang died, Kang the Conqueror has already taken over? I don't know. So many unanswered questions that I don't know when we'll get them. I don't know when season 2, I haven't seen or anything. I might put it on screen if they've announced it or anything like that. But we do know that he's appearing in Ant-Man and the Wasp's Quantum Mania. So excited about that. I think that hopefully that's not like a variant of him. I mean, maybe it's just going to be a ton of variants popping up in all of these different movies leading up to the next Avengers movie where it is them fighting off against Kang. I think that'll be interesting as well. I'm not really too sure. That's just spitballing here, but let's talk Lego. I think that if we did see Kang in his final form there, I would have really loved to get him in a Lego figure, but maybe that'll be in season 2 or something like that. But if you haven't heard yet, we are of course getting 3 Loki variants in the Disney Plus series, and in the form of Loki with his variant jacket, as well as Sylvie, and she actually comes with the alligator Loki. And Loki actually comes with Throg, which was briefly seen, which I was really hoping would break out and have some sort of a role in that episode. Maybe he was going to be the distraction, but didn't happen. And Chris Hemsworth came in and actually recorded lines, so I think that's kind of disappointing that we didn't get to see more of Throg. I wish that we did, but again, maybe season 2, you never know, right? But I think that it's an interesting accessory then, I guess, for him. I would have preferred Miss Minutes since she's more prominent, I guess. In terms of sets, I don't really know what they could do. I can't really point to like a specific vehicle or a specific playset that they could really do. I don't know. I've seen a couple of ideas online for sets. I just don't necessarily think that they would be particularly too interesting. But even if they do something, I think it'll be next year or maybe in the coming months, like in 2022. But just looking at what they did with The Mandalorian, they did barely anything with that when it first came out. They did the one set, and then, you know, the summer later there was a few things that came out, but really there wasn't anything else, and I think that they learned that going forward. And the box that I'm actually have been using here is from Buzz Brickier. He does a ton of custom sets and different things from all of the Disney Plus shows. You should really check him out. I will link him down below. But I would love to hear your thoughts on the show, your thoughts on season 2, where this could be going, what it means for the MCU, as well as just maybe you have set ideas. I'd love to hear all that. But I hope you guys did enjoy this video, and I hope you all have a great day. I will see you all in the next one.